Morning guys, I'm back with another quick DIY video. I searched on YouTube and I noticed there was a few videos that kind of gave you an explanation on how to do this, but they weren't really as descriptive as I normally prefer to be, so I decided to make my own to try to help out other people. I made a couple other videos and people seem to like them, so I figured I'll continue to kind of help out people that learn a little bit more like me in reference to being more descriptive. So I've got a 2004 Subaru Forester XS and I need to change out the differential fluid, the rear differential fluid for that matter. It's been making some noise in the back and I'm not really sure if it's the diff or I'm not sure if it's a wheel bearing, so I figured I'll go with replacing this first, and if the problem persists then I can progress up to more detailed changes, more detailed fixes. So that's why I decided to make this video, so I hope you guys like it. Let me know. Alright guys, so I've chosen to go with this product today. It's the Motul 300 SAE 75W90. My particular Forester takes about one bottle approximately, but I made sure to get two just in case because I do have one or two other projects I want to do with it that include the gear oil as well, so why not get more than I need. And I'm also going to be using this oil spout just to make things easier. Hopefully it will alleviate the mess that I end up making. One of the reasons why I chose this, the Motul 300, is because my Forester has approximately 190,000 miles on it, so it's been daily driven quite well, so I want to make sure to put the best product that I could in here just to kind of give it the best longevity it could give me. Plus, I've used this same material with my 06 WRX hatchback, and it's worked amazing so far, so this is why I've chosen this. So this should work out pretty well with me. Alright, so as you can see, we're looking underneath the rear end of the vehicle. There's the differential right there, or at least the rear one. So, easy explanation is we got to empty that out and refill it. You have your fill plug, which is right there, and you have the drain plug, which is right there. You need to break loose that one and that one to be able to drain and fill the differential. It's always a good idea to break loose the top one, the fill one first, before you break loose the drain one. Why? Because if you break loose the drain one, drain it out, and if you realize the fill plug is stuck, you're pretty much screwed. So you got to do that first. I've already broken loose both of them. I just kind of wanted to explain which one was which to everybody before I actually broke them loose and started draining it. Alright, so I've got the filler plug and the drain plug both broken loose. So, since I know both will come off, I'm going to drain the fluid first and foremost. There we go. Yummy. Alright, so I'm going to let it drain. While it drains, I'm going to pull off both plugs and I'm going to clean them thoroughly, checking them for any kind of large debris on both of them, because obviously any kind of large debris would indicate a bigger problem than just the fact that you need to change the fluid out. So I will clean those off real quick. Okay, so like I said, you got to clean off both plugs real well as best as you can. Wipe them down, do whatever you have to do, and inspect them for anything that looks out of the ordinary. Obviously it is pretty gunky, but nothing out of the ordinary from what I see so far. It just looks nasty, that's all. So I'm going to clean these up real good, get ready to reapply them. Alright, so we got the gear oil, or differential oil, loaded up with the drain neck, and I got both of these plugs cleaned off pretty well. Not too bad considering the vehicle has about 188,000 miles. So I've already gotten up underneath here and I've wiped off both of the areas that the plugs go into. It's still dripping, as you can tell, but for the most part everything's out. It's been open for about 20 minutes. So you simply put the drain plug back on, which, by the way, for my vehicle is the one with that little black grommet on it. So you put it on, you screw it in by hand as tight as you can get it, and then once you can't do it by hand anymore, that's when you'll use the breaker bar. Or at least that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the breaker bar to put it back on, but I'm gonna be real careful not to well, break anything. Okay, so I'm gonna do my best to make a video on the actual filling process. So in a nutshell, I've got my drain plug back on. It's nice and tightened. The fill plug is still off, obviously, because I need to fill it. So start filling it from the top. And I still have my oil container right here to kind of catch the runoff when it starts happening. Because fact of the matter is, when you fill this, the goal is to keep filling the fill plug, or I'm sorry, the fill hole, until the oil starts coming out of the fill hole. Because that'll tell you that the whole differential as a unit is completely full. So you just take your time, you squeeze it in, and then you just keep going until it really starts to come out of the fill hole. As you can see, it is dripping a little bit, but the drips I'm not worried about. I'm looking to see, or I'm sorry, I'm waiting to see a substantial amount coming out, because that'll tell me that it's not just drips happening, it's completely full. And this filler tube is working okay. It's leaking. It's dripping a little bit out of the bottle. I didn't expect it to do that. Sorry about the train. I live about 500 yards from a train track, if you can't tell. Alright, so it's taking the majority of that bottle, but it's getting a little difficult for me to squeeze out the rest from that bottle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my secondary bottle, attach this filler neck to that bottle, and then keep filling until it starts coming out. Alright, let's see if we can't get this filled up this go around. So again, approach it from the filler side, start squeezing it in gently. It is dripping out a little bit, so that's a good sign. There we go. Okay, so you see how it's free flowing out? That tells me it is full. That's not a drip, that's a free flow. So that tells me that that differential is as full as it can get, so I'm just going to let everything drip out so I don't make a massive mess. Too late. That's me though. I like making a mess when I'm messing with my cars. Alright, so now, since we know the diff is full, take the last plug, you screw it on there by hand. You never want to immediately start using the bar, because that's a good possibility you could strip threads. So you put it on by hand as tight as possible. Take the breaker bar, tighten that up, and I'm going to go over the bottom plug as well one more time just to make sure it's nice and tight. So I'm going to make sure the bottom plug is tight, top plug is tight, sorry, and I think I should be good. Okay, so I did want to make a quick clip kind of showing people how I unscrewed and how I'm going to be screwing these plugs back into place, because it's very difficult. Now, my vehicle is not jacked up, so I'm kind of doing it the fun way. Yeah, the fun way. So I'm kind of doing it the difficult way. So you just basically fit it on there. You're able to crank it up 1 or 2 cranks, and then you tighten it. Bring it up, tighten it. Bring it up, tighten it. Oh, you can't see. Hang on just a second. So it takes a little while. It works. It takes a little while. So you're not going to have much clearance to do this. Now, in retrospect, I could jack the vehicle up, but that's one of the reasons why I love my Forester and I love working on it, is for the most part, I don't really have to even pull out the jack. So you're not going to get much throw here. So you just have to be patient and take your time and do what you have to do to make sure you don't break anything or make anything more difficult than it needs to be. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to just show you that, just so you guys knew it was going to be a little bit of a challenge. Alright everybody, so here's the overview. It's real simple. It's a very quick job. I was able to do all that within the span of an hour max, and that was with me playing around with the camera, trying to record things, trying to be as descriptive as I could as possible. I was able to do it within an hour on my own. I didn't even have to jack up my vehicle, but keep in mind it is a Forester, so they are pretty high to begin with. All I really needed was the new fluids, a breaker bar, some paper towels, and that long clear filling neck that I purchased that I put on top of the oil bottles. That would be very helpful, because if you don't have that, you're going to be spilling this stuff all over the place, being very counterproductive. So that's all you really need, minimal mechanical experience, and you can get it done yourself all within an hour.